let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna open the meeting at 10:42.
Good morning, welcome to the Wildcat meeting. This is our first meeting for 2026. Our first order of business is reorganization. Do we have a nomination for president?
I'll make a motion that we keep things just as they were.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, so Mayor, that means you are president.
President. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you.
You're
Whether
welcome.
I'm here or not, I get
That's
it.
exactly.
It's like us to be generous.
Yeah, okay, so do you want to run down who that is for the recording? Who the president and the different,
I think we do a president and we do a vice president.
Yes,
So
yes.
the president would be Mayor Judy Sheets and the vice president would be Jeff Chenoweth.
okay, thank you.
Jeff's not here, so
He's not here, so that's all right. He
Yeah.
can catch up next meeting.
That's right, that's what they did to me, so. Okay, next we have approval of claims. Did you have any claims for us today?
I do, they are just right there, yes.
Is there any questions or comments about the claims? Is there anything we need to talk about? or-
No, I just wanted to point out that the town of Mulberry and Clinton Central Schools have both asked for their recycling checks. So I did go ahead and I spoke with Joel and submitted those for payment. So those have been sent.
And that's the annual amount,
It
correct?
is. They get it once a year.
Okay. Could I have a motion to approve the claims?
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, those passed.
And can we please go back to the minutes? We skipped.
Oh,
that's
did
the-
we skip the minutes?
We skipped the minutes.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. The December 30th, 2025 Wildcat Solid Waste Management minutes, and it was at 10:30 that morning.
I move we approve the minutes from December 30th, 2025. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, the minutes are passed. Okay, director's report.
Okay. Well, being first of the year, I've been working on getting some updated pricing for 26 here with some of our waste vendors. So I'll start with Caldwell Environmental. Kennedy Lawson is one of their representatives, and she actually made our last board meeting. And she scheduled a couple weeks ago with Jason Kozad. They both came and toured our facility and just kind of took a look at the operation and all the different waste streams that we have. Caldwell has bought out New Genesis, which was a hazardous waste hauler out of Morristown, Indiana. So they're kind of taking over their operations, and they can offer a lot of the same services and even some other services that Heritage, or well, now Arkwood, could offer, and some things that they don't. Such as waste cooking oil has been a problem for us. I know I've spoken about that in the past. We were kind of throwing around some ideas of what we could possibly do to set up a relationship with them. So they're working on getting us some pricing on waste disposal. So they may be a company in the future that we look at using for some or all of our hazardous waste disposal. I'm not sure, but I imagine I'll have that pricing by our next board meeting, so we can take a look at that at that time. And I also got pricing from Greenwave Electronics as well as OmniSource. We worked with both companies in the past, and Greenwave currently is kind of winning out on that, as they don't charge anything for miscellaneous waste, which we ship probably 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of just random printers and radios and cables and keyboards and stuff like that, you know. That makes up a pretty good part of our load, so we can save a little bit, I think, this year anyway, by using Greenwave. So, and when did we ship them? I think Monday. Was it Monday or Friday? At any rate, Friday. We just recently shipped out a load to Greenwave of Electronics. So, just a couple other things here. Every year we've got an e-waste report that goes to the state, since we are a registered e-waste collector. And we've also got a report that goes through RETRAC, which goes out to the Association of Indiana Solid Waste Management Districts, as well as IDEM. They get that information. That's all of our recycling and hazardous waste totals goes to them. And then the Gateway report, also everything's due by March 1st, so we'll make sure to get that done. Went ahead and submitted a membership form for the Indiana Household Hazardous Waste Task Force. It's an organization made up primarily of solid waste districts around the state. So everybody can, they have monthly meetings, and that way they can kind of, we can all keep each other informed on what's happening, or if there's new avenues for waste disposal or recycling, you know. That all gets sent out in meeting minutes, and I get that information through my email, which is nice. They also offer trainings throughout the year, and as well as site tours. So one of the, they sent me their list for 2026, and one of the facilities that they're planning on touring is this Caldwell Environmental Facility in Morristown. So I want to say that's in April, so if we get a chance, Pat and I might go down for that and check out that facility. So, and other than that, I guess to touch base on the recycling that we spoke at length about it at the last meeting. One of the issues that we're going to have out of the street department, if the solid waste district was to take over and implement a recycling program out there, would be hauling the roll-off containers. And I got pricing from Wamplers and Winskies. Wamplers seemed very interested to do it. They can pull roll-off containers for $80 a pull, and that's a pretty good price. Winskies, actually, I talked to them, and they're kind of training a driver at the moment, but I sent over a photograph that I got from Howard County on those recycling containers, and the type of hook that's on that, their truck won't actually even hook to it. He said they'd have to modify it, and because those are actually a wooden frame structure, he said he probably wouldn't even be able to do anything for us. So it looks like Wamplers would be the way to go if we were to have somebody pull those containers for us. So, and yes, other than that, I haven't made a whole lot of headway on the recycling thing, other than I did have a thought. I had mentioned at our last meeting about our rainy day fund, and, you know, in 2025, we only shipped hazardous waste twice, so we had a pretty good amount left in the budget that we could roll over into that rainy day fund. So I think that's something that we should probably look at doing towards the end of the year, every year. And I had mentioned possibly funding this recycling program through increasing our tax rate, but if we could roll over what we have left in our budget into rainy day, that might be enough to pay for the hauling every year, to where we wouldn't even have to raise our tax rate. So it was just a thought that I had on that. So
Are you wanting to use all the cash or just from that one line?
well, I looked it up. I think as of 24, we can roll over, at least on a quick Google search. We might want to ask the attorney on that, but I think we can roll over 10% of the budget. So
I think they even changed it to 15%. I would just caution you, because when I do your cash flow and do budgets when we start, doing that, your cash balance, we just want to be careful, because you want to make sure that you have some of your cash balance to help you for the next year. So, I mean, if we do 10%, that might be, just fine.
okay. Yeah, and of course, with us, just depending on when we ship, our electronics and our hazardous waste are pretty much our two biggest expenses, our two biggest line items. And just depending on when we ship, sometimes we're gonna use all of that, and then some years, we'll probably have some left over. So, yeah, I think we'd have to take that on just on a year-to-year basis. But just food for thought, that might be something we want to look at towards the end of the year, about rolling some of that into rainy day. So, and other than that, that's all I have for my report. So,
Can you not pay for this just from your regular budget, to where we could just have a line?
well, when I sent in the budget for 26, you had sent me an email that you weren't sure that we could even budget that much. So I don't think we can add anything to it. And
I just meant maybe
It's-
shift things around a little bit.
right, and I don't know.
Okay.
It's tight. So
It might be something we could look at for 27.
yeah, well, and you had mentioned as well, like on the claims, we're giving 12,000 to Clinton Central every year for the recycling program, and 18 to Mulberry, and those numbers, may, if we don't do something, then they're gonna be getting more stuff at their facilities, so they may have to come back and ask for more just to maintain those two recycling centers. And I don't want to see anything get shut down. I'd like to be able to offer more.
I do know Mulberry wants to meet with us in April.
Who?
Mulberry.
Okay.
So what is that money used for exactly, like the 12,000 and the 8,000?
Their recycling center.
Is
Can
it
you
to
speak-
maintain it? Is it the cost of,
Cost of having it shipped out
okay,
and
Yeah.
separated and stuff, and the people usually do a pretty good job keeping it separated, and there's not that much separation, but still,
But the shipping.
it's costing us a little bit more than what we're making, or what we're getting right now. We're not making any money on this deal, but last month, we recycled 3.86 tons. And the month before that, I think it was like 4 tons. So it gets a lot of use.
So has it went up since you've not been able to take it to the street department?
No, not really. It's raised some, but I don't know where he's taking it to now.
Was there a large percentage of people from the county coming to the street department?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. trying to remember the number off the top of my head, but I think Warner's told me it was around 150,000 pounds a year that was coming
Okay.
out to the street department, and, you know, people that live in the city limits, they all have curbside. So I would think, you know, they weren't checking IDs or anything, but I would assume that probably the vast majority of those people are from the county. So now all that waste is having to be diverted to either Clinton Central or the town of Mulberry. So, people have definitely expressed their frustration over that as well.
I've heard a few of them, but, and they said that a lot of the trash is, of course, they're just throwing it in the trash now. And
No, for the record, is not the case. It's, I think some of the confusion comes from they load it in a garbage truck. The garbage trucks hold a lot more, but what they do is they run the blade all the way up to the cab so that it's not really being compacted. So, the compactor is actually just kind of pushing it in there. But they don't have to make as many trips if they do that, rather than, you know, putting it in the bed of like a one-ton dump truck. You know, they have to make several trips back and forth. So the trash trucks just hold a lot more, which is why they do it that way. And I think that's a lot of where the confusion comes in. But yeah, it's always gone to be recycled and processed. It's not being hauled out to the landfill.
yeah, I'm not being critical at all. I just, you know, I had a few calls about
Yeah.
people live in Northwood that wanted to recycle, and now they don't want to drive clear to Clinton Central or whatever.
Yeah, yep. And I read some posts as well. There seemed to be some confusion on that, so.
I had
but-
4 calls this month alone, or last month, I should say, in January, of where do I take it, you know?
Yeah,
So it's gonna increase.
yeah, yep. So, yeah, we're looking, possibly, purchasing some containers. Howard County has, some old roll-off containers that were previously in use. And, you know, they're just the next county over, and, their board wants 3,000 a piece for them, and they're already set up for taking recycling. They've got the windows on the sides, you know, and just basically, you could set one on the ground, and people could bring their recycling out, put it in there, and all we would have to do is, you know, contract with a hauler like Wamplers to just have them towed across town to Werner's and be dumped. So we're basically just trying to find enough wiggle room in the budget to make that happen. But now that, you know, our budget's reset for this year, I think we do have some money. I meant to bring a copy of the budget actually, but I think we have some money in equipment that we could maybe go ahead and purchase those containers. But yeah, the issue is gonna be the hauling fees. 'Cause we figured it's probably, I don't know how much we're gonna get, but we're probably looking at 10 to 15,000 maybe a year just in hauling fees and sorting fees at Werner's to process that, so.
Is the landfill, taking recyclable?
Not to my knowledge.
I think contract-wise, they were supposed to.
And that may be an option.
They were supposed to.
And that explains why we got more traffic at our place.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yep,
We are getting ready to put cameras down there to monitor it, you know, but we have a lot of traffic down there to recycle.
yep.
It
Yeah, I
don't take
think-
long for it to fill up.
No, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about with this too. If we, you know, previously at the street department, the cardboard was all getting baled, you know, and that's, I know the town of Rossville, when they had their recycling drop off, they struggled with the same thing. Chad Colby over there, you know, 2-3 times a day had to take the backhoe and pack down the cardboard container because it takes up so much room. And at that point, you're just paying somebody to haul a bunch of bulky stuff, you know, that doesn't really weigh all that much, so,
Those containers, are they, are they where people could separate it themselves, or they wouldn't do that, or?
nope.
Okay.
I mean, they do have the windows on the side, but they're basically just one big open compartment
Okay.
in the middle, so it would just all be mixed. And, yeah, the back end of those containers swings open, so they can just tip it up on the roll-off and dump it at Werner's, and then they would sort it all there, so. But of course, you don't really make any, I mean, well, you don't make anything at all doing it that way, you know. I think the city might have made a little bit off of paper and cardboard. I'm not sure, not
Yeah.
much, if
I mean, we were
anything.
paying for our recyclables.
Even bailed,
I think so.
yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, the market for recycled goods is,
There was a time they did pay.
yeah, there
And
for a
then
while.
now it's like we paid to take it there.
Yep. I know, I saw an article, I want to say it was back in around 2018, but China kind of cut off all the supply of plastic. They decided they didn't want to take it anymore, which is where a lot of it was going. And that's right around the time when the bottom kind of fell out of the recycle market, so. But here we are, so.
So what steps do we need to do next, do you think? Just review their budget and see if there is any funding that would cover that, or?
I think that at least starting with the rainy day would be a good idea. And then at the end of the year, we can look and see if there's, you know, how much the 10 or 15% would be. And maybe that would be enough to keep it going.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would. I mean, once we purchase the containers, then all we really have is hauling fees. We figured disposal fees for Werner's would be around $2,500 a year, so that's, I think we could find that easy. It's just gonna be paying somebody with a truck and a driver and paying their fuel, you know, to haul it a couple times a week or more. I really don't know,
Right.
so, how often it would have to be pulled, but yeah, I would like to try to do something on that if possible. So, so are we thinking that we just want to revisit this towards the end of the year on, as far as, you know, looking at the rainy day fund and all of that and how much we might have? I didn't know if we wanted to get.
I mean, not that I'm a voting member, but.
Right.
I think that, I mean, from a budget standpoint and from a need standpoint, you ought to look at, I mean, if Howard County has the containers, I would look at trying to get them.
That's
Because they're
what
not
I
gonna
was
be around
thinking.
forever.
Right.
Well,
That's what I was thinking, that we don't want to lose them, because
Right.
I'm sure they'll probably be more costly from someone else,
I
so.
would think so, yeah.
So if there's some way you can look in the budget and see if you can move any of your lines around or anything that
I
would.
mean, we've got, I think, 10,000 for equipment. That would buy 3 containers. We also have money for, we still have like building maintenance and repair money as well. So I think we've got enough in our equipment line item that we can purchase those.
How many containers do they have?
We might be able to get by with just 2, but I don't know on that. We would need at least 2, maybe 3 to be on the safe side. It's just so hard to tell because I don't know how fast things are gonna fill up out there,
Right,
you know, but,
Well, if you just buy 2, what's the chances of that third one not being there, you go back and need it next month?
yeah,
Be better to have it,
Yeah, it'd be better to buy the
Yeah.
3
yeah.
and
Well, I also, the only photos that I've seen, they look like they were pretty new at the time, so I'd kind of like to see them in person before we do that, just to make sure that they're not in like really bad shape. You know, Mickey over there said that they've been pretty well maintained through the years because they were just recently taken out of service, so they were using them up until they went to the front load containers. But yeah, if the board would like me to go ahead and purchase those, or go take a look at them first, you know, and or I can email some photos of it to everyone, you know, and see what you think.
I think you could just go ahead and go, you know, if the money's there to purchase 3 of them,
Yeah.
at least.
I'll make a motion that we do just that. We buy 3 and get started with it.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
All
Passes.
right.
And then from there, we'll have to decide as far as that fee, you know, for disposing of it and all of that, how we'll do
Yeah.
that, but,
Yep. Yeah, I'll take a look at the budget and see
Okay.
if there's any room in there. And,
Okay.
We can,
you know, at least for
Like
now
numbers.
too, we do
Yeah.
have that rainy day fund if we needed to fall back on that. You know, I think we have like 47,000 in there, so that would at least, they would at least get us a couple of years, you know, maybe even 3 or 4, so.
good.
They're probably like the one we got at Mulberry, the sliding doors on the side.
It's similar, but yeah, they're a steel frame, just like a traditional roll-off dumpster is, but they actually have wooden sides, so, yeah, but they do have the doors, but rather than sliding ones, they fold down, you know, but I think these containers would probably at least get us by for a few years, if nothing else, and then if we need to replace one down the line, like I say, we budget every year for equipment, and we could probably buy one every year and maybe phase these out, you know, with metal containers in the future, but yeah, I appreciate everyone's support on this, and I'm sure it'll make a lot of people happy if they can continue to bring their stuff out to the street department like they have in the past. And that'll also take some of the burden off the city, because we'll still take recycling from city and county, you know, so that would free up a little bit for the street department there in their budget, so.
Joel, once you do get them in place, I would recommend having Tammy Sander put it on Facebook.
Okay,
Mhm.
I can do that, yeah, I've got her email, so
Yeah.
I'll get
Yeah,
in
that way
contact with her.
you can spread the word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I guess I do have a question. I had asked a while back about possibly starting a Facebook page, social media for the solid waste district, you know, because things do change periodically in the items that we accept. And I think at the time, the county was looking at updating their social media policy, and I didn't know if we'd made any headway on that, or if, or if I should just
I
not.
mean, I think Tammy's always looking for something to put out under the county, so I think I would maybe utilize that.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that's been the new policy, is everything goes through just on Clinton County.
Mhm.
okay,
just on her.
Because, like, if something's going on in my office, I'll contact her. Same with the treasurer, you know, don't forget to pay your taxes. I mean, so I think it would be completely appropriate for you to utilize that as well.
okay,
No doubt.
good. Yeah, that just seems like the easiest way
It
to
does.
reach the largest amount of people, so.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do that going forward, so. All right, well, that's all I have.
okay, thank you. Does anybody have any
Thank you.
old business? New business? Or any other business? Does anybody have anything? Okay, I'll take the motion.
So move.
Second.
Second, oh, yeah, whichever one. Somebody made it, somebody second. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks,
Joel.
everybody.
I don't want to forget to have